Hi, I'm Jim Egles with the BMC Virtual Chat team. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the user interface design changes that are now available in Virtual Chat 9.1.01. To demonstrate these changes, I've opened up two different versions of Virtual Chat. On the left, we have our last GA release, which is Virtual Chat 9.1.00. On our right, we've got our new version, Virtual Chat.9.1.01, which going forward I'll just refer to as SP1. I'm going to log into both machines. We'll start at the top of the portal and work our way down. In the header, they look very similar between the two versions. However, our settings graphics have changed a little bit with the addition of some graphics, and the resulting windows for both of these also changed slightly. But the real difference here is functional in that in the old version, when you clicked apply, it would stay on the screen and the user would have to click chat to return back to the chat page. In the newer version, if you just click apply, it automatically sends the user back to the chat page. We've also made changes to the tabs across the top of the portal. For one thing, the tabs are a little more clearly defined now. The text is more bold and they look more available. In the old version, it was not intuitive to the user that these were available to them because of the opacity of the icons. You'll notice that the email icon is now gone. In SP1, it's been moved down here, and when you highlight over it, when you mouse over it, it'll pop up a little label. We'll move to the Open Items icon. And in Open Items, I'll open them on both sides. Again, the graphics are changed a little bit. When we open both of these, although this one has no chats on this particular one, over here we'll see the open chats and the open incidents. And again, some graphical changes on how these look if we actually click the actual incident itself for the summary information. Just a little cleaner interface. The functionality is the same. Next, we'll move quickly to the Quick Links tab. And again, just some graphic changes. Other than that, the functionality is also the same. And then over to the Alerts tab. Now, before I go to the Alerts tab, you probably noticed on the main chat page that we did see some sort of alert here. In the older version, we would list these alert and you could click it and it would rotate between the two. On the right side in the new version, hopefully a little more intuitive, is some arrows so they can scroll through those two. And of course you can also just close these in a similar manner. If we click on the alerts tabs directly, we'll also see some differences between the two. And again, these are mostly graphic changes. And we've replaced the envelope with the actual label that says subscribe. All this is now configurable as well. And that's covered in a separate video. So again, just some minor display differences. Let's return to the main chat page. A couple of changes here are the addition of the icon for the virtual agent and a little bit of shading around the conversation as well. As we start a conversation, this will become more obvious. Down at the bottom, we've changed the label down here. Rather than Ask Jen a Question, we've changed it to Start Typing Your Question, and we've replaced the Post button with a little send icon. We have also enhanced the typing area so they can handle more than one line of text at a time. So on this side, I'm going to say, how do I change my password? And we'll see how that response looks in the display. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, and you'll notice in the response here, we divide each conversation with different colors and a little bit of different justification as well on the little arrow here. The Chat Now button has been moved from the footer to the header. We'll go ahead and do that on both sides. And again, the system information itself also has a little icon. Now I'm going to have a support agent pick up each of these conversations for both versions. And again, we see some slight differences here in the system messages, the way they're shown. And we'll also see some differences in the typing notifications. That's on the one side, and the newer notification looks like this. If the user were to type a particularly long sentence over here, and I'm just going to type garbage, you see how it just scrolls to the right. On the new interface, as the user types a longer message, it will actually word wrap down so we can see more of the message. And it continues to word wrap down. Another very nice enhancement for this version is that almost everything we've looked at so far in the new version is now configurable. So that if the customer wants to do some branding with system messages, avatars, labels, buttons, now they can do that with the new UI through the Chat Admin Console. Those configurations are actually covered in a separate video for new configurable labels and messages, and that video should be available on iLearn as well. We have also improved the translation via localization for all the labels in the UI for all our supported languages. We'll take a look at that now, and we'll just look at the new version for that. So to look at the language translations via localization, all we really need to do is change our browser language. In this case, I'll just change it from English to Spanish. And then I'll refresh the page. And now we'll notice that all of the elements and labels have been translated for us into the selected language. Now, some of this other information will be translated via Google Translate and not via localization. So that's an overview of some of the design changes in the self-service portal for Service Pack 1. Thanks for watching.